Welcome back to Stupid Boy UFC. In this video, we are going to talk about a very hot topic, a very interesting topic. Francis Ngannou leaves the UFC. Now we have the match John Jones versus Cyril Gane, and we are going to give our reaction to Francis Ngannou, the current heavyweight champion. Never been a case where the current champion has left the UFC. Like we had those cases that interim champions leaving the UFC, but now the current heavyweight champion and even the best division, like most lucrative division in the UFC, to be honest, is leaving the UFC. Like, I can't imagine, how they are going to promote that fight. And if someone wins, how can they say that this guy is a undisputed champion? So we're going to react to it. So Green Tea is here. He's our special guest. I think at this point of time, he's like our podcast partner. So, Green Tea, tell me, what are your views about Francis Ngannou leaving the UFC as the current undisputed heavyweight champion of the world?
Yeah. So what I see is Francis like wanted to have a clause of boxing with the like Tyson Fury or something within the contract, and I think he has expressed his opinion in Ariel Havani show that what do you say, he if he's an independent contractor, he should be allowed to do other things as well, like
Yes.
box or any other combat sport he wants to. But UFC, like seeing the previous history, they only did this for McGregor, with McGregor and Mayweather, and that was it was exceptional because in 2016-17 they were trying to sell the UFC. So by promoting this, they would have actually they wanted to use McGregor as saying, "Ki, okay, the in future this UFC is going to generate a lot of money." And to increase the value of the UFC overall, I think they allowed McGregor to fight with Floyd Mayweather, and along with that, I think they partnered with McGregor so that whatever his purse is, a good chunk of money goes to the UFC. But the
Yes.
problem was that after the fight with Mayweather, so he actually never came back to defend his belt. So I think both the belts which he had, featherweight and lightweight, in one case he vacated. I think he was stripped. I think didn't say he vacated. He
Yes.
got stripped, and for 155 also he got stripped. So I think UFC does not want to get, moving forward, have that kind of a precedent that okay, our what do you say, UFC champions can simply go and box with any other promotion if they want to, because if we allow them, there's a good chances they won't come back and fight or defend uh, their uh,
True.
their belt.
Yes.
So I think in short, it's Francis wanted certain things in his contract, and UFC didn't want it to entertain that. So I think that's it's the best thing is that they parted away. The pro is, at least I'm happy for Ngannou that he gets to do whatever he wants in his terms, and I hope he gets the Tyson Fury fight and he gets his payday. And the con is that we would never ever get a chance to see Francis fight John Jones, which everybody says he's the goat.
You know what? I would say that whatever you said about Francis fighting once in a year, as a promoter, that's a problem. I see that that's a problem because if your fighter, if your heavyweight champion of the world isn't defending twice in a year, that is a huge problem, and that problem was there even with the Stipe Miocic because he fights only once in a year. But I would say that it was problematic for the UFC, but disrespecting like you could have had that kind of achievement with Francis Ngannou, like Conor McGregor, because Francis Ngannou is a very scary person. But there's a problem because Francis Ngannou doesn't have technical boxing, and he's going. That's a very sad news, to be honest. We don't want to accept it as a pure mixed martial arts fan, but as a boxing fan, I see him losing against Tyson Fury, and a very bad loss, to be honest. Like probably he will get knocked out. He will get tired, and then he will get knocked out. We saw how he acts when he gets tired. Apart from the wrestling game against Gon, when he gets tired, he just starts breathing from the mouth, and I think for Tyson Fury can play that game with him, and probably he's going to lose that. And and the other thing that I want to talk about is the legacy of this scary individual. I don't think nobody is deleting his legacy like Demetrius Johnson. Probably someone will say that even they can delete the legacy of Demetrius Johnson, but Demetrius Johnson is 5'2", and Francis Ngannou is 6 feet 5, and like he looks scary, and he's one of the most. I mean, he's the scariest person in the UFC because I can see that with Brock Lesnar too. But I think Francis Ngannou, the way that he looked when he defeated, Stipe Miocic, the heavyweight greatest of all time, that was a scary sight. The way he knocked out Alistair Overeem, so that was the scariest thing. And I think like they won't be able to delete the. But Francis Ngannou probably going to ruin his legacy because he's going to lose. Uh, Even in the fight against Dillian White, I see some holes in the game. I see like Kevin Lee. I see holes in the game of Francis Ngannou, and also like I can see him getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, and how many heavyweight boxers he can. Andy Ruiz, I think he can win against Andy Ruiz, but just using the range. I think he can lose against Andy Ruiz too. So yeah, it would be very tough thing to see. And that's our reaction to the news. If you want to add something in the intro, green tea.
Yeah, I just wanted to say what I can see in my crystal ball is
Yeah,
yeah
yeah. In your crystal ball, to be specific.
yes, yes. So so moving forward, the what I can see is so there's first I think he will probably get a fight with Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury called him out recently. So there's a good chance he'll fight him, get his good payday. And I think it's not going to be boxing. I think it's going to be like 4 ounce gloves in a cage.
Yes.
So I think after that, if he wins, then yeah, there is a lot of other things gets open for Francis, like boxing with other what do you say, top contenders, as well as yeah, no, yeah, if he wins, there's like he gets more boxing chances. But if he loses, then I think all I see is like he'll probably tie up with some other promotion like PFL or Bellator, and then get some few fights. But I don't see him getting some challenging opponent. He'll probably be he'll still get good money, but I don't know about the legacy part. But yeah, again, like that's his call. So he wanted to get the freedom, and then yeah, so I hope he just gets whatever he wants. That's all I can say for Francis Ngannou.
And looking at my balls, crystal balls, I just wanted to make that joke. Looking at my crystal balls, I see no, my balls are not made of crystal. Don't get too excited. Looking at my crystal ball, I can see Francis Ngannou being that superstar if he can defeat Dillian White. And I
Mm.
don't think he can defeat Dillian White because there are lots of talk about Dillian White, Dillian White and Francis Ngannou. So that way, Francis Ngannou is going to lose, and probably he will ruin his legacy. But in the minds of you know a fan that was his fan, like from 5 years ago when he knocked out, when he had the first fight in the UFC, I just thought about, because he used to have the long hair, I was like, Francis the Predator Ngannou. Joe Rogan was like that, and I saw, man, this man looks like a predator. This man looks like
There,
a
there was
predator.
a picture, right, where when he used to have those long hair and then he used to have those dreadlocks, and
Yeah.
then I think when his hair used to fly, and I think somebody put the predator mask on his face, it
Yes, yes,
actually
yes.
looked like
Look
a
like it
predator.
looks really scary.
Yeah,
So that's our video. We talked about how Francis Ngannou legacy will be if he fights in boxing, and we predicted something. Let's see. Let's hope best for Francis Ngannou. Let's hope he gets his money because he deserves it. This story, like the struggle, coming from Cameroon, going to France. Like it was so tough, and now we want him to, like make a living, make a hell out of living because he's just made a living in the UFC, like earning millions probably. If he finds Tyson Fury, I don't think he's going to earn lesser than 10 million. You know,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
you know
for
what? That's
sure,
that's
for sure.
that's our prediction. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Peace.